What's going on, family? We got a situation we gotta talk about. And it's for no fame. You dig? And this deals with the crime wave, right? But this is something else that don't got nothing to do with no savage behavior, nothing like that. So let me clarify that, right? But we do got some issues going on. And like I said, for those that tune into what I be talking about, I told y'all that this is not a time you want to go to jail, period, for nothing, because you can go to jail for something petty and you might get sent for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It don't matter. People have been passing away behind that G wall under many different circumstances. And also, due to the pandemic, we know that the cases are up. And once you behind that wall, you might not be able to get the proper treatment. You know what I'm saying? And you might not, your people might not even know what's going on with you. So this is a topic that just recently broke, you know what I'm saying? And it says that 15 Rikers Island inmates died in 2021, which was the highest number since 2016. And this report has just came in, you know what I'm saying? Each of the inmates was men of color whose causes of death varied between C-19, suicide, and overdoses. And it's also been a lot of calls to close Rikers Island, and it's been continuing to increase because it has been a campaign of close Rikers Island. You dig? Even though we already know they're supposed to shut it down, but that's in a couple of more years, and people are trying to speed up the process. Now, 15 men of color have died while in custody at or just after release from the infamous Rikers Island jail in 2021, making it the jail's most deadly year since 2016. You dig? So this recording is from 2016 to 2021, which makes it 5 years, according to the Griot, which is a report of a newspaper, whatever, a briefing situation. They deal with this type of information. Their causes of death varied between suicide, drug overdoses, and C-19, according also to New York Magazine's The Intelligencer, you dig? Which published obituaries for all 15 men. And for example, one man, Anthony Scott, died before he was sent to the facility and was not included in the obituary. 2 inmates died within 4 days of each other in December. Malcolm Boatwright was 28 years old and died from cardiac arrest, while William Brown was 55 years old and his cause of death is still under investigation. 90% of the inmates at Rikers Island are black or brown, according to the Griot. The majority of prisoners are awaiting trial, including Wilson Diaz Guzman, who died by suicide in January, just 5 days after he arrived. And this is according to the New York City Open Data. Jared Trujillo, policy counsel at the New York Civil Liberties Union, told insiders in an email that too many New Yorkers have died or suffered enormous and irreversible physical and psychological harm as a result of conditions at Rikers. He also added that Rikers has been plagued by an abhorrent culture of neglect and violence despite increases of the Department of Corrections budget. Calls to close Rikers Island, which consists of 8 operating jails, have increased during the pandemic, according to the Associated Press, which cites concerns over deaths, violence, lack of medical and mental health care, and unsanitary conditions. The city of New York plans to close down Rikers Island and replace it with other smaller jails by 2027, according to the city's roadmap to closing Rikers. But in the meantime, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, a retired New York Police Department chief who assumed office in January as mayor, says he'd reopen solitary confinement at Rikers Island for violent prisoners. All right? And I'm not going to go, it's nothing else to talk about with this mayor. But we're going to go into a breakdown of this whole situation. And you know, we've been talking about this for a minute. You know, me and my man P on Grown Man Talk, we showed y'all the pictures months ago on how they got people on those grounds side by side, overcrowded. And we told y'all and showed y'all how it looked like they got people on the slave ships. Now, this particular article, I don't know why, but they made a specific point to state that 90% of the jail is black and brown. And also all the individuals that have died so far have been black and brown. It's overpacked for one. For two, they also told you about how they're having a shortage of staff. And due to the pandemic, a lot of people are getting sick. People are overdosing due to certain drugs. Mental health has increased, which are making people do more drugs. You dig? People are losing it, which also showed you, and they also told you that crime on the island is also running rampant, violence. A lot of it is gang violence. And a lot of it just comes from the stress of these harsh conditions. And basically what they're saying is they don't know when it's going to stop. So that's my whole point of we have proof that this is a time where you don't want to go to jail. So my whole purpose of doing this video is to tell you once again, if you got a chance to get yourself cleaned up and get right, you need to get right, because you don't want to be on Rikers Island or any jail in America at this time. This is not just Rikers Island. This is going on all over the country because crime is increasing. People are doing more crimes to survive, and people are getting sick. People don't want to comply with the vax, and therefore you have COs quitting, and it's no more control going on. Or shall I say, the control is becoming a shortage. So I'm not going to go into too much of this. I said what I had to say. If you got any peoples locked up, definitely on Rikers Island, you need to be in tune with them. And you need to find out what's going on, because people are dying. You know, you got young dudes catching heart attacks, people ODing, and some people are becoming victims of violence and the pandemic. They're getting sick. So with that note, this for no fame, and this is part of the crime wave, but this particular part of the crime wave, we're going to say the savage side, it comes from the conditions that they're keeping our people in. They're keeping them in a savage way of living. And I'm out.